and I'm gonna get a lot of too. But honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over.
You know, he coming behind his jab, he throwing straight punches, he going to the body, going in up and down. He just got to tighten up a little bit on his defense, but other than that, man, he good.
In the world of boxing, debates never end. Who's the best? Who really deserves the pound-for-pound crown? But when Terrence "Bud" Crawford dismantled Canelo Alvarez, the whole sport stopped to watch. This wasn't just another victory. It was a statement. A smaller fighter moved up 2 weight classes and broke down one of the most dominant champions of this generation. It was the kind of performance that rewrites history.
It's more of
Hell
boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
What made this moment even more powerful was the reaction from one of boxing's most feared men, David the Mexican monster Benavidez. Instead of calling Crawford out, he gave him his full respect. That's rare in this sport. When a fighter like Benavidez says Crawford belongs on boxing's Mount Rushmore, that means something. It means he recognizes that Crawford achieved what almost everyone thought was impossible.
Because, you know, he beat, he did something that I didn't think he was going to do. You know what I mean? He went and he beat Canelo. You know, that's 3 weight classes going up. You know what I mean? And he made it look pretty easy. So you have to give it to Crawford.
Benavidez didn't just praise Crawford's skills. He praised his heart. He said the thing that impressed him most wasn't the technique or the IQ, but the courage. Even when Crawford was comfortably winning, he didn't just play it safe. He stood toe-to-toe with Canelo, trading shots with a naturally bigger man. That's not just confidence. That's the mentality of a warrior. Crawford fights not just to win, but to prove something every single time.
Fight, you know, it's a good fight for both of them. Good fight for, I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, you know, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said, like, he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
You can give him like a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say like 25.
I mean, no, Crawford is good. Crawford is good, and I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long time. And you know, Crawford, he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long time. So, you know, Crawford, when he has with a person that has a big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, you know, and you stay working for a long time, you know, you have a puncher's chance.
And in Benavidez, and I'm gonna get a lot of too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather.
Is it the undisputed?
Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And not even, and honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, but I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather is the greatest of all time. But I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. I mean, that's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. No, but that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of, he has a lot of balls to do that. And not only to go do that to show.
But Benavidez didn't stop there. He also pointed out the real reason behind Canelo's downfall: ego. He said Canelo went into that fight believing his own legend, throwing only a handful of punches each round, thinking his power alone would end it. But arrogance is a silent killer in boxing. The moment a fighter thinks he's untouchable, that's when the sport humbles him. And that's exactly what happened to Canelo.
Serious and Canelo, which is kind of weird because, you know, the amount of money that Canelo was making. And I know all these people say, oh, yeah, you know, talking shit about Canelo. I'm not talking shit about him. He just didn't look like he really prepared 100%. He's throwing 10 punches around. Or I think it was his ego is that big that he thought that, oh, I'm just going to walk through him, catch him with a good shot, and it's going to be done. As you can see, Crawford is a different type of fighter. Not only has he had the boxing IQ, he has that dog in him. He was in there. He was brawling with Canelo like in the 8th, 9th, getting the best out of him. Boxing, he's epitome of a great boxer. There's a lot of lessons to be learned in that fight. You know what I mean? If you really want to make something come true and you really believe it, you can make it come true. And then the other lesson is don't let your ego get the best out of you. Don't think that you don't have to prepare because you're a bigger fighter. You know what I mean? That shit will bite you in the ass.
With Canelo,
He'll make 168. Is that a possibility?
Honestly, bro, my plan is after this fight, I want to go down to 154. Nah, bro. I'm done with cruiserweight. You know, I want to take this opportunity though. Yes, I say cruiserweight. I want to take this opportunity to, congratulate Crawford. He put a hell of a performance. He's up there in the Mount Rushmore of the greatest fighters of all time. And, let Crawford do his thing, bro. At the end of the day, I have no interest in fighting Crawford. I have no interest in going down to 168. I mean, yeah, it's nice that it would be dope winning all titles, but I'm way past that at 168. The only reason I wouldn't even go down to 168 for Canelo, and I'm just being real with you, and let Crawford do his thing. Let him have his, let him. I want to give his flowers, man, because he's a great fighter, man. When there's no other fighter that's coming up from 147 to beat a type of fighter like Canelo at 168, when Crawford, he's one of the greatest of all time. So, I have no interest in going down to 168. I'm not saying that I'm scared of Crawford or whatever, but Crawford's a man at 168. That's his weight class.
This fight gave us two powerful lessons. First, if you truly believe in yourself and put in the work, you can make the impossible happen. Crawford proved that. Second, never let your ego take control. The moment you stop preparing like you're hungry, you start falling. Canelo didn't lose because he was old or slow. He lost because he underestimated a man who still had that fire in his eyes.
On the throne.
How does the Canelo fight look with Benavidez? Who you favor?
I still got it at 50-50. Benavidez good, but Canelo is, great. We just got to see the fight, man. We all want to see the fight.
Do you think he gets him to the body? Because Boo Boo was landing a lot of body shots.
I don't know. That's why I said we got to watch the fight. You know what I mean? It's a different style, different type of fighter. You got two strong fighters going head to head.
Is Canelo the only 68U fighter? Would you consider a Benavidez?
Yeah, the opportunity to fight. We've been in talks of fighting Surdo Ramirez for his belts at Cruiserweight. So we're already in talks of that, and then that's definitely a fight that has to happen because I used to spar him when I was 18 years old. All the way, I sparred him a lot, so I know that's a pay-per-view fight. So it was a pay-per-view sparring session, so the fight is going to be, way better. But yeah, definitely, that's in my sights. I definitely want to go up to cruiserweight. I want to be a reigning defending champion at light heavyweight, and then make my way up to cruiserweight.
And now, even Benavidez himself says he has no interest in fighting Crawford. His words, let him have his moment. That says it all. Right now, Crawford isn't just the face of boxing. He is boxing. His mentality, his discipline, his hunger. That's what greatness looks like. This story reminds every fighter watching, skills may win fights, but mindset builds legends. Stay hungry, stay humble, or the sport will humble you.
That's right.
Wow. That's cheating.
I love it.
That is cheating.
That's a heel turn. You both.
That is heel.
That's a heel turn.
I love it. You
that
far.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Roy at his peak. Just remember this. If Roy would have retired after the Ruiz fight, he would have replaced Sugar Ray Robinson as the greatest fighter of all time.
I agree.
Right? But he didn't, and the rest of that stuff is in there, right? So I get it. But Roy at his peak, I think, had a higher peak than anyone on this list.
I agree.
Okay, Manny Pacquiao, we've all said it a million times. I think he is, outside of Sugar Ray Robinson, I have Manny Pacquiao second greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever. Floyd Mayweather never lost. And did he cherry pick when and where? Yes. But guys, from 130, 135, he cleaned out 135. He beat the best guy at 130, beat the best guy at 135. Yes, did he pick and choose at 140, 47, and 54? Yeah, but he won all those fights.
That's right.
And he beat a lot of good fighters. And more than that, put Floyd at his best with anyone through history. You do not know who wins.